ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. So now we're going to chant the Mangalacharan at the beginning of Balga. Okay, so we are seeing Kishkinda Kanda of Sri Ramcharitmanas. We have reached the section where Bhagavan Sri Rama has spent months waiting for the rainy season to pass. And while waiting for the rainy season to pass, he was reflecting on the changes that were happening outside in nature and how they reminded him of all kinds of spiritual principles. And he used the rainy season as an opportunity to teach us principles of this universe. That section finished, and then Bhagavan said, "Oh Lakshmana, what's going on with Sugriva? Has he forgotten us? Because he should have been here by now. I mean, the rainy season is finished, and we've still not gotten any news of Sitaji." And so he says to Lakshmana, I'm going to take the same arrow that I used to kill Bali, and I'm going to go to him. and he says to Lakshmana, but tomorrow. Right? He says tomorrow. He uses the word tomorrow because when a person is angry, we're supposed to wait for the anger to calm down. And at that time, Shivji reminds us that Bhagavan doesn't actually get angry. He's only showing anger for Sugriva's benefit. And actually, you see how it benefits Sugriva. He's remembering his friend, reminding his friend not to commit the sin of omission in friendship, in the promise that he made. And so, Lakshmanji goes to the palace. Before Lakshmanji can go, we see what's happening in the palace. Tulsidas takes us there and shows us how Hanumanji was thinking, this Sugriva has forgotten Bhagavan Ram. Same thought Bhagavan had, Hanumanji was also having. How Sugriva has forgotten him. And so Hanumanji helps Sugriva to remember his duty and finds a way to let Sugriva give him the command to go and send for all the monkeys to come, because the monkeys are going to be needed to find Sitaji. This happens like 2 weeks before Bhagavan Sri Rama thinks what's going on with Sugriva. So Hanumanji is like 2 weeks ahead of Bhagavan Ram. And he makes sure that Bhagavan Ram's work happens, even though Sugriva is engrossed in enjoyment of sense pleasures. And so now where we reached, Lakshmanji has just entered. The monkeys have been sent for by Hanumanji on Sugriva's command. And Lakshmanji has now reached to Kishkinda. Because Bhagavan Ram can't go to Kishkinda. He's not allowed to go to any town or city. And so Bhagavan had sent Lakshmana to scare Sugriva. Only scare him. And it's very easy to scare Sugriva because he's the poster boy for coward. He's very scared, easily scared. So he had a little bit of comfort by the fact that Bali's not there anymore. So he was very able to chill and relax and all of that. But that tendency to be scared is there. It's very easy. So Lakshmana now goes to scare Sugriva. Before we continue the story, just take a moment to reflect on how blessed Sugriva was. How did Sugriva meet Bhagavan Ram? Hanumanji went to Bhagavan Ram. Hanumanji met him. And Hanumanji carried Bhagavan to Sugriva. He personally took Bhagavan to Sugriva. Now, when Sugriva is supposed to come to Bhagavan himself, again he doesn't come. And what does Bhagavan do? He sends Lakshmana now, go and bring Sugriva. Who gets that? I mean, really, who gets that? A devotee brings you to the Lord, and the Lord sends another devotee to bring you to him. What Sugriva would have done to get this kind of karma, right? And so now Lakshmana comes. You just imagine the state that would have been, what would have happened in Kishkinda when Lakshmana showed up. Angry, with the angry face. All the monkeys over there would have run helter-skelter out of fear. I mean, he wouldn't have had to say anything also. He did say, he said, I'm going to burn this whole Kishkinda. And I mean, even before, just the thought of him saying it is enough to scare everybody, right? But anyway, so now Angad, the crown prince, realizes what's going on. And he now goes to Lakshmanji. It's a strategic move because Lakshmanji cannot do anything to the one who has taken refuge in Bhagavan. Angad is safe. And Angad now goes to meet Lakshmanji. So let us see, we're picking up. This is after Doha number 19 in Kishkinda Kand. Dhanusha chadhai kaha taba jari karo purachhara. We saw that. We finished that Doha. We're starting with the Chaupai right after that. Charana nai siru binati kinhi. I hope that everyone has found it. This is on page number 750 of Kishkinda Kand. Good. In our PDF. In your books, it'll be whatever page it is. Okay? So let us chant now. Charananai siru binati kinhi Lachimana abhaya bahatehi dehi Krodhavanta lachimana sunikana Kaha kapisa atibhaya akulana Sunu hanumanta sangaletara Karibinati samujha hukumara Tara sahita jai hanumana Charana bandi prabhu suja sabadhana Karibinati mandir le aay Charana padhari palanga bethai Taba kapisa charanani sirunava Kahi bhuja lachimana kanthala dhava Nata vishaya samamada kachunahi Muni mana moha karai chanamahi Sunata binita bhajana sukha pava Lachimana tehi bahuvidhi samujava Pavanatanaya sabakatha sunai Jehi vidhi gaye duta samudai Harashi chale sugriva tava Angadadi kapi sadha Ramanuja aage kari Aay jahan Raghunath siyavar Ramachandra ki jai Pavan sutta Hanuman ki jai Umapati Mahadeva ki jai Bolo bhai sab santan ki jai. Okay. Charananai siru binati kinhi. Now, Angad, crown prince of Kishkinda, has come to Lakshmanji and he bows his head at Lakshmana's feet. And binati kini, he supplicated him with humility. And you know, when you see humility, your heart melts, no matter who you are. And so now Lakshmana his heart is softened. Lachimana abhaya bahu tehi dinhi. And Lakshmana gave him, extended his fearless arms to him. Meaning he said, don't be afraid, and he embraced him. He embraced him so that Angad would become fearless, right? Meaning, don't worry, I am not going to fight you. I'm not here to cause problems. Krodhavanta lachimana sunikana. Now, Sugriva, news reached his ears, right? That Lakshmana has come and he's angry. When Sugriva heard that Lakshmana was angry, Kaha kapisa ati bhaya akulana. Now this Kapisa, this lord of monkeys, this Sugriva, said with great fear and with great distress, what he said? Sunu Hanumanta sangalai tara. O Hanuman, you take Tara with you. Kari binati samujhahu kumara. And you go and supplicate to this Lakshmana. You go and, surrender to him and appease him and explain to him. Like try and calm him down. What did he say? Hanuman, you go and take Tara with you. See how smart and strategic Sugriva is? He knows Lakshmanji cannot get upset with Hanumanji. He also knows that Lakshmanji has tremendous respect for women, right? Like when they had shown the jewelry of Sitaji to Sri Ram and Lakshmanji, at that time Lakshmanji said, I can only identify her anklets. That I know is hers. Because he never looked at Sitaji except for her feet when he would do pranams, right? And so he knew how much respect Lakshmanji had for women. And he also knows how special Tara is for Bhagavan Ram. Because, Bhagavan Ram gave Tara Atmanyan right there on the battlefield. So he knows Lakshmana will not do anything. Strategic move. Take Tara with you, O Hanuman, and you go to Lakshmana and you pacify him. He knows that if Lakshmana comes in front of him, he will be too scared and he'll run away. I don't know, right? So he sends Hanumanji. Now see, Hanumanji's instruction was take Tara with you. Tulsidashi writes, Tara sahita jai Hanumana. Hanumanji didn't do that. He went along with Tara. So the presentation is that he now puts Tara in front of him. So Hanumanji now puts Tara in front and he accompanies Tara. So Tara is the one who goes and meets Lakshmana first. Behind her comes Hanumanji. This is the presentation Tulsidashi gives with the words, right? And what did they do? Charana Bandi, Prabhu Sujasa Bakhana. Now he did pranams to Lakshmanji. He's bowing down to Lakshmana. But Prabhu Sujasa Bakhana. He sang to the glory of Bhagavan Ram. I do pranams to you, and I tell you the greatness of Bhagavan. I do pranams to you, and I tell you the greatness of your master. How will your heart not be happy? He knows Lakshmana. Lakshmana doesn't want to hear about his own greatness. He's happy when he hears Bhagavan's greatness. So Hanumanji does exactly that. Kari binati mandira lay aaye. Now he and Tara would have supplicated Lakshmanji, and then they brought him into the palace. Charana pakhari palanga baithaye. They washed his feet and they sat him down on the bed or the couch, some kind of comfortable seat, right? This is the only time that, I can identify, I don't know if it comes later else, I don't think so, where Lakshmana's feet are explicitly washed in Ramayana. It's mentioned clearly that his feet are washed over here. And it is an interesting thing that his feet are washed at this point, because I don't know how many of you wash your feet before you go to bed, but it is something that we grew up doing, and it is, I don't know, many people do that, at least used to do that. It is said that washing your feet, because of the nerves that are there under the feet, it calms the personality. So when you wash your feet before you go to sleep, your whole personality becomes calm and ready to wind down and all of that, right? But whatever anger would have been in Lakshmana's heart, once his feet are washed, the calmness automatically is going to come. So, I'm not saying they did it because of that, but look how, from every point of view, he's having opportunities to become calm, right? So now they washed his feet and they sat him down on the bed. Taba kapisa charanhi sirhunava. Then our kapisa, our Sugriva, came and bowed his head at Lakshmana's feet. The presentation here is like Sugriva came from nowhere, right? And you can visualize here Lakshmana is sitting on some kind of bed or couch, right? Let's say bed. And then Sugriva comes and holds his feet. It's almost like Sugriva was hiding under the bed and waiting for Lakshmana to calm down. And then he climbs out from under the bed and he holds his feet. That's literally how the presentation is given. So he was hiding. Now that Lakshmana has come, he shows himself. And the first thing that Lakshmana does in response, remember Lakshmana has come to shake him up, right? Why? So he should go to Bhagavan Ram. But what is Lakshmana's response? Gahi bhuja Lachimana gantha lagava. He lifted him in his arms and he embraced him. Sugriva came and appealed to his heart. And in response, Lakshmana did exactly what Bhagavan Ram would have done. Actually, in the final analysis, Lakshmana only does what Bhagavan Ram would do. Bhagavan Ram wouldn't say anything to Sugriva. He also said nothing. Finally, all big talk, I'm going to go, I'm going to excitedly show him. Nothing. He embraced him. Now, symbolically, Lakshmana is Vairagya. Lakshmana represents Vairagya in this Ramayana, right? And Sugriva's palace was currently a paradise of enjoyment and indulgence and lust and all kinds of kama going on over there. And so, Vairagya is what is needed to counteract the deluding powers of the sense pleasures. Hanumanji told him, hey, Bhagavan Ram's waiting for you. We have work to do. Sugriva's response was he temporarily stopped. He did his duty for a moment. He said, send for the monkeys, and he went right back. But now, Lakshmana has come. Vairagya has come. And finally, that is what stops Sugriva's indulgence in kama. Sugriva is Jiva. Sugriva is us. What is it that will stop our overindulgence and switch us from doing bits and pieces of Ramakaj to completely dedicating ourselves to Ramakaj? Vairagya. Dispassion. Dispassion meaning healthy independence from anyone or anything in the world. If we have to depend, we depend on Bhagavan, not on people and things for our happiness. Like that. Yeah. Now he says, Nata Brishaya Sama Mada Kachu Nahi. Sugriva says to Lakshmanji, O Lord, there is nothing as intoxicating as the sense pleasures. They are so intoxicating. Muni mana moha karai chanamahi. They even have the capacity to delude the mind of munis in a moment. In a moment, it has the capacity to delude the mind of munis. Narad Muni got caught also, right? Sunata Benita Bachana Sukha Pava. Hearing these words of humility of Sugriva, Sukha Pava, Lakshmanji was happy. Why? Because he saw he's not justifying what he did, right? And Lachimana Tehi Bahu Bidhi Samujhava. And in so many ways, Lakshmanji consoled him. Now, Pavanatanaya Sabakatha Sunai. Now Hanumanji speaks up. Hanumanji always knows the right time. When is the right time to speak? When is the right time to be quiet? Right? What is relevant right now? What has Lakshmana come for? He's come to say hello. We have work to do. Right? So now all of this nice meeting and everything has happened. Everyone is calm. Everyone is like back to, normal temperature in the mind. And Hanumanji's like, hey, it's time now. Otherwise, what could have happened? They could have gone on and on and on talking. Right? Hanumanji said, he told the whole story. What story? Jehi bidhi gaye duta samudai. The way all the messengers now have gone already to call the monkeys from all over, wherever they are. Meaning, something has been done. Lakshmanji, don't feel like we are starting from scratch. And Hanumanji, the presentation, Hanumanji does not say, I sent for them. But he's trying to show that our king has been doing stuff. Don't worry. Even though he didn't come there to Bhagavan Ram, he's doing stuff, right? And, it's so interesting that this is what Lakshmana wants to hear. But Sugriva doesn't tell him this. He doesn't say, hey, we've sent for the monkeys. They're on their way. Don't worry. Hanumanji has to tell. It's almost like Sugriva forgot what they had done and they hadn't done. Or he was like clueless about what the right time is to say what. But Hanumanji's there. And that's the power of having the right company, right? The right minister he had, and he was saved. The right company we have, and even though we are not clear of right and wrong, of what to be done at the right time, our company helps us. All right, so now, Harashi chale Sugriva taba Now, happily, Sugriva goes. Angadadikapi sat, along with Angada, etc. All the monkeys. That means would have been like the head monkeys there, right? Rama Anuja Age Kari. They put Rama Anuja, they put Lakshmana, the younger brother of Rama, they put him in front. Means Lakshmana, you lead the way, you take us to Bhagavan Ram. Aaye jahan Raghunath. And they came to where Bhagavan Ram was. Tulsidashi said they came. So Tulsidashi would have reached already to where Bhagavan Ram was. Whenever he says there or he says here, you can imagine it's almost like now he's sitting and he has his like video camera on and he's watching them come. You can imagine he's seeing them come now to Bhagavan Ram, how they are approaching Bhagavan Ram. So all other monkeys, whoever would have wanted to come, would have come along with them. And now they all went to Bhagavan Rama's presence. So Lakshmana led the way. First Hanumanji brought Bhagavan to Sugriva, then Rama sent Lakshmana to bring him, and now Lakshmana brings him to Bhagavan Ram. Right? What Sugriva had was sincerity. Along with all of his negative qualities, he had sincerity. And that sincerity that he had, and the honesty in his honesty with his limitations, melted Bhagavan's heart, melted everybody's heart. He knew Bhagavan's power. He knew his weaknesses. And that was enough for Bhagavan. Right? So now let's see what happens now. He showed up to Bhagavan. Bhagavan is like, where's Sugriva? So now what is the response that Bhagavan has? See, this is after number 20 in Kishkinda Kanda. Nai charana siru kaha kara jori, nath mohi kachu nahena khori, atisaya prabala deva tava maya, chutai rama karahu jaudaya, vishaya basya sura nara muni swami, मैं पावर पशु कपि अधिगामी, नारी नयन सर जाहि न लागा, घोर क्रोध तमन सिजो जागा, लोभ पास जेहि करन बढ़ाय, सो नर तुम समान रघुराया, यह गुण साधन दे नहीं होय, तुम्हारी कृपा पाव कोई कोई, तब रघुपति बोले मुस्काई, तुम प्रिय मोहि भरत जिमि भाई, अब सोई जतन करहु मन लाई, जेहि विधि सीता कै सुधि पाई, एहि विधि होत बत कही, आए बानर जूठ, नाना वरन सकल दसी, देखिय कीस बरूथ सिया, पर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Nai charana sirukaha karajori. Now Sugriva bows his head to Bhagavan Ram's feet and says with hands folded, what? Natha mohi kachu nahena khori. O Nath, O Lord, it is not at all my fault. I am not to blame at all. When Lakshmana came, what was his bhava? Sorry. You know, these senses, these sense pleasures, they deluded me. That apologetic bhava was coming across there. Here, the first thing he says to Bhagavan is, Bhagavan, it's not my fault. Whose fault is it then if it's not your fault? Atisaya Prabala Deva Tava Maya. Bhagavan, it is your fault. Why? Your Maya is the most powerful. The most powerful thing is your Maya. Your Maya was the problem. So whose fault is that? See, Chhutahi Rama Karahu Jaudaya. It only disappears, it only goes away for that person on whom Bhagavan Ram showers his compassion. So it didn't go away for me. Therefore, hello, Bhagavan, where was your compassion? How am I to blame? Your compassion, your fault that I wasn't here. Your Maya, your lack of compassion. You know, only a friend of Bhagavan can talk to Bhagavan like this, right? Sometimes, we'll see people come and speak to our Swamiji, right? And, the way we talk to him is one thing. We talk to him in a certain way. And then we see other people coming, and the way they talk to him, I'm like, did they just say this to Swamiji? But friendship, it's a different relationship, right? And so some people can talk like that, right? So some people can talk to Bhagavan like this. If you make friends, in fact, you are allowed to have whatever relationship with Bhagavan that you want. So if you want to go and tell Bhagavan, yo, Bhagavan, it's on you, it's your fault, you're allowed to do that. No problem. You have whatever relationship you want with him. But Sugriva had the I don't know the right word. He had the capacity to talk to Bhagavan like this. It's your fault. He's saying, where was your compassion? That's what he was saying. Your compassion wasn't there, and therefore your Maya affected me. But Sugriva was just not able to count his blessings. The true reality of life is that Bhagavan's compassion is all-pervasive. There's nowhere that it is not, and there's no one upon whom it is not already falling. It is 100% all-pervasive. The only thing is we have to become aware of it. So when we say Bhagavan has showered his grace, really it means I have become aware of Bhagavan's all-pervasive grace. What did Sugriva not have? He had Hanumanji. Hanumanji brought him to Bhagavan. Hanumanji came and said, hey, you're forgetting Ram Kaj. Do something. Right? Bhagavan sent Lakshmana. Lakshmana brought him to Bhagavan. And he's still saying, Bhagavan, I didn't have your grace. It is by his grace only that you are even enjoying in the palace. Who killed Bali so you could go and enjoy in the palace? Right? How is it that he forgot? This is us. This Sugriva is 100% us. Us jivas. Right? We cannot count our blessings. We just don't know how to. There was one man who was admitted into a hospital, and he had a surgery in the ICU, and he had, a whole set of things done. Then afterwards, he got the bill. And this was in the US, not Canadian healthcare. This was US. So he got a nice bill after his stay in the hospital. And one of the items on the invoice was $5,000 for oxygen. He started to cry. And the administrators were thinking, oh, he doesn't have enough money, he's worried how he's going to pay this. So they said, no, don't worry, we can set up a payment plan for you, we can figure it out. No, don't worry, at least you're okay now. And he said, no, I am not crying because I can't pay this, I can afford it. So he said, then why are you crying? He said, look, for 2 days, you all charged me $5,000 for oxygen. Bhagavan has been supplying me with oxygen since the day I was born. And till date, he has never given me an invoice. How I lived my whole life without thanking him. Where is our awareness of Bhagavan's compassion in our life? When Sugriva says it, it's a chance for us to stop and think also. Where is Bhagavan's compassion in my life that I'm not seeing? It's there. I'm just not seeing it. So, He says, where was your compassion? The answer is, why aren't you seeing it? Bhagavan doesn't say that. The story continues. What does he say? Bishaya Basya Sura Nara Muni Swami. Under the spell of sense objects. Everybody is under the spell of sense objects. Who? Even Devatas, men, Munis, Swamis, masters. Everybody comes under the spell of sense objects. The sense objects are so powerful, they're so deluding. Me pavara pasukapi atikami. What to talk of me? I am a poor animal. I mean, I'm just a monkey. I'm a kami monkey. I'm a lusty monkey. Whoa. It's not surprising that I also got distracted by the objects of this world, these objects of this world of yours. I mean, it's natural for it to happen. Like he's analyzing what has happened that caused him to reach this state, right? Now see. Nari nayana sara jahina laga. He says, who is not pierced by the arrow of a woman's glance? You know, like when a woman glances at somebody a certain way, I don't know, they think. I mean, switch it for gender switch, right? Who is not pierced by the look of a woman's arrow-like glance? Means who is not affected by kama? Who is not affected by desire, right? Then, ghora krodha tamanisi jo jaga. Who is there that remains awake in the deep darkness of the night of anger? Meaning, who is not carried away by anger? Who remains awake in the dark night of anger? When anger comes, it takes over. Lobha pasa jehi gara na badhaya. Who is there who is never caught in the net of greed? In the net of greed. Who is it? So nara tumha samana raghuraya. That person, only someone. Who is it who is free from kama, krodha, lobha? From desire, anger, and greed? From the 3 doors to hell? Only somebody who is equal to you. Meaning there's nobody. You know, in Bhagavatam it comes, Devaki ji wanted a child like Bhagavan. She says, Bhagavan, I want a child like you. And Bhagavan's response was, there is nobody like me. So I only have to come. Right? There is nobody like Bhagavan. So, Sugriva is saying only somebody like you can face kama, krodha, lobha. That is how insidious they are in capturing our minds and taking them away from Bhagavan, taking them away from our duty. Yaha guna sadhanate nahi hoi. These qualities, these virtues, they don't come by our own effort, by our own sadhana. We cannot get these great gunas of facing kama, krodha, lobha like that with our own effort. How? Tumhari kripa pava koi koi. It's only by your grace that some rare people get this capacity. That kama, krodha, lobha goes away totally only with your grace. So, see, it is a reminder to us that we shouldn't be arrogant and think we can deal with kama, krodha, lobha ourselves. We shouldn't be, our ego shouldn't feel, yes, I can conquer this, right? The other thing to remember is this is bhakti marg, right? In jnana marg, uddhared atmanatmanam, lift yourself by yourself, right? But in bhakti marg, Bhagavan is the one who lifts us. Right? Bhagavan in Gita also he says, he is the one who lifts us from this ocean of samsara. And the comparison that is given is a bhakta is like a cat and a jnani is like a monkey. The cat, you know the kitten, how the kitten is transported from one place to another? The mother cat holds the kitten by the neck and the kitten just has to hang and then the mother carries it. That's Biralavat. That is the Bhakti Marg. What is the monkey mark? The Jnana mark. I mean the Jnana mark, not the monkey mark. Jnana mark. What does the monkey do when that mother is jumping from tree to tree? She needs both her hands. She needs like every part of her body. What the baby monkeys have to do is they have to hold onto their mother with dear life. If by mistake that monkey lets go of mother, she's not going to stop midway. She cannot, because her life will go otherwise. Okay? So Jnana Marg is all about self-effort, and Bhakti Marg is all about surrender. So whatever your heart gravitates to more, you will end up on that mark, right? But the Bhakta, surrender means fully surrender, right? Not, I'll surrender this 2% and everything else I'll keep for myself, and I'll call myself a Bhakta, and Bhagavan, you do the rest. No. Full responsibility or full surrender. Those are the two options. But see Sugriva's quality. He doesn't pretend to be someone else. He admits his weakness. He's saying, Bhagavan, I was weakened by the pleasures of this world. I admit that I was weakened by them, right? And we are supposed to go to Bhagavan exactly as we are. And that's exactly what he did, right? If these durgunas are removed, it is by Bhagavan's grace that they are removed when we approach him. So Sugriva goes to Bhagavan not pretending. Bhagavan, I'm going to blame you. It is your Maya. What about your Maya? The sense objects are just so deluding. They're just so powerful, right? It's only someone like you who can face them. He admits his weaknesses. Taba. Then Raghupati bole musukai. Now Bhagavan Ram spoke. He said, and he was smiling. Tumha priya mohi bharata jimi bhai. You are as dear to me as my brother Bharata. He didn't say you are as dear to me as Lakshmana. He said you're as dear to me as Bharata. And it's actually really cool that he chooses Bharata to compare him to. For Hanumanji, he compared him to Lakshmana, right? For Sugriva, he compared to Bharata. Why? See, Sugriva is a king. He's in his kingdom, running his kingdom, right? His work is away from Bhagavan Ram. But where's Bharataji? In Ayodhya, running Ayodhya, away from Bhagavan Ram. So they have that similarity, Sugriva and Bharataji, right? Then see, Lakshmanji is serving Bhagavan Ram. What is Hanumanji doing? Serving Bhagavan Ram. Wherever he needs him to be, he will be there. Right? So how Bhagavan compares also, it's so interesting how he chooses. But Bhagavan smiled. When Bhagavan smiles, it's very dangerous, right? When he smiles, it either casts Maya or it removes Maya, right? But now Sugriva was already drowning in Maya. So it's almost like Bhagavan's smile came and now his Maya is gone. Sugriva's Maya has disappeared. So now Bhagavan Ram smiled at him and he said, I love you very much. I love you as much as Bharata, and everyone knows how much he loves Bharataji, right? Then he says, Abba, soi jatanu karahu manalai, jehi bidhi sita kehi sudhi pai. Now, put forth that effort wholeheartedly, by which we can get some news of Sitaji. So, the leadership of Lord Rama is something really remarkable here. He doesn't go on reminding Sugriva about what he did and he didn't do. I can't believe you forgot. I can't believe you didn't show up for so long. Really, you were so distracted. Nothing. He doesn't say anything. See how less he speaks. And when he speaks, the little that he speaks is enough. Right? He goes straight to the point of what is important. Abidhi, in this way, hota batakahi ai banarajut. While this conversation was going on between them, the whole group of monkeys now showed up. Remember Hanumanji had told the messengers to go and call them? Time was up. Now they've come. A whole set of them came. Nana barana sakala disi dekhiya ki sabaruta. There were all kinds of colors coming from all directions, you could see countless monkeys. Countless. So now the normal question is, well, how many were there? So Shivji is going to tell us right now. Let's chant. Now this is after number 21. Banar katak uma mein dekha, so murukh jo karan chah lekha. Ai Ram badana vahi mata, nirakhi badanu sab hohi sanatha. Asa kapi ekana sena mahi, Ram sukala jehi, Ram sukusala jehi, पूछी नाही अस यह कछु नहीं प्रभु के अधिकाई विश्वरूप व्यापक रघुराई ठारे जहाँ तह आय सुपाई कह सुग्रीव सबहि समझाई राम काजु अरु मोर निहोरा बानर जूथ जाहु जाहु ओरा जनक सुता कहु खोजहु जाई मास दिवस मह आएहु भाई अवधि मेटि जो बिनु सुधि पाए आवे बलि सो मोहि मराए वचन सुनत सब बानर जह तह चले तुरंत तब सुग्रीव बुलाए अंगद नल हनुमंत सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Banar kataka uma mein dekha. Now Shivji speaking to Uma, to Parvati Ma. He says, "O Uma, I saw this whole army of monkeys." What did he see? So murukha jo karana chah lekha. That person is a real fool who wants to count how many monkeys there were. How many? Countless. In Valmiki Ji's Ramayana, it's described there were trillions of monkeys. Trillions. And maybe spoiler alert, I shouldn't tell. When they get to when they are building the bridge to go to Lanka, you know the story is there that all the monkeys go and then they put the rocks with Rama's name and then they float, and that's how the bridge is built, right? But how are trillions of monkeys going to cross one little bridge? So actually what happens there, I don't know how many of you know, it's a really beautiful section. Maybe you'll forget by the time we reach, or maybe you won't because of how beautiful it is. Bhagavan Ram goes and he's the first one to walk on the bridge. And when he goes on there, all the aquatic creatures from all the oceans, knowing Bhagavan Ram is standing on the ocean right now, they come to get darshan of Bhagavan Ram. They come to do seva for Bhagavan Ram. And all of their shells, all of their tops, become an extension of the bridge that the monkeys built. And now in one shot, that trillions of monkeys can cross the bridge. But trillions means trillions. You cannot even visualize what, forget monkeys, you cannot even visualize what millions of ants looks like. Try to visualize, what would a million ants look like? What would a billion ants look like? What would a trillion ants look like? Or grains of sand? Now imagine that's not grains, that's monkeys. So it's unfathomable the number of monkeys that were there to do Bhagavan Rama's work. Ai Rama Pada Navahi Mata. They came and bowed their heads at the feet of Bhagavan Ram. Nirakhi Badanu Sabha Hohi Sanatha. And seeing his face, they all became Sanatha. Sanatha means with Lord. There's literally no translation for this word in English. The opposite of Sanatha is Anatha. Anath means orphan, loosely, terribly translated. It means that's how the Hindi word for orphan is Anath, right? But what Anatha literally means is they had no Lord before, and now they have a Lord. We don't have a word like that in English, but that's what they felt. They felt like now I have become a person who has a Lord in my life, like that. They felt like they were orphans till date. This bhava of Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, right? You are my everything. Asa kapi ekana sena mahi. There was not one single monkey in the entire monkey in Vanara Sena. Rama kusala jihi puchi nahi. Whose welfare Bhagavan Ram did not ask. Not one single monkey Bhagavan Ram left out in asking their welfare. Now please you tell me, when you go to a camp with a Swami and there are 100 people in the camp, how long does it take for everybody to meet Swamiji? Now imagine trillions of monkeys. How long it will take them? There's not even a trillion seconds in a day. How long it would take all of them to meet Bhagavan? So, our Shivji comments, he says, Yah kachu nahi prabhu ke adhikai. This is no great accomplishment, nothing for Bhagavan Ram, the fact that he asked all of them their welfare. What? Visvarupa vyapaka raghurai. He is Vishwarupa, he is this whole world. He is the all-pervasive Lord of the universe. So what would have happened is at the same moment, he would have appeared to all of them. He's already everywhere. What is it, anything special for him to meet all of them at the same time if he's already everywhere? Right? There's infinity in every iota of this universe. There is divinity in every iota of this universe already. That is how miracles can happen, because there's already divinity that pervades this entire universe. So there's nothing surprising in a miracle happening, because divinity is there. Like, you know when Ganeshji drank milk? Did anyone here have that experience? Ganeshji drank... Oh, this was like in the mid-90s it happened. I was a kid in grade school, and I came home from school one day, and everyone was like, Lord Ganesha is drinking milk, Ganesha is drinking milk. And I was like, what rubbish. Me and my scientific mind went to do some experiments and all. That's a different conversation. But how that happens, that is because there's divinity in every iota of this universe. Miracles can happen like that. What we call miracles, very possible. So it's nothing great for Bhagavan to have said, Hari Om, how are you? What's going on? To all the monkeys at the same time. Now, Thare Jahataha Ayasupai. Now they stood and they were arranged and they got their instructions wherever they were. Trillions of monkeys. Sugriva would have communicated to them what to do, how to stand, how to arrange, and all of that. Kaha Sugriva Sabahi Samhujahi. Now Sugriva explained to everybody what to do. Means he would have divided them into groups and, all of that. Sugriva is the one who now addresses the monkeys and tells them where to go, how to go, when to come back, right? Why doesn't Bhagavan Ram tell them directly? Whose work is it? Bhagavan Ram. You know when you are trying to get somebody to help you with a project, you call a whole set of people and then they have their boss over there and they're with their team. And then the boss says, okay, you tell. It's your project. You tell, right? You tell everyone what they have to do. But here Bhagavan doesn't tell. He makes Sugriva tell. And actually, it's a great leadership skill to do that. It empowers your leaders. It shows how much authority Sugriva has if he's telling in front of Bhagavan Ram for them to do this. So now Sugriva says, Rama Kaju. This is Bhagavan Ram's work. Aru Mora Nihora, and my instruction. As the king, I'm giving you the instruction to do Bhagavan's work. Right? This is Bhagavan's work. Banara Jutha Jahu Chahu Ora. Oh, you groups of monkeys, you go in all the directions now. All the 4 directions, you go now. Doing what? Janaka Suta Kahu Khojahu Jai. Go and look for Sitaji. Janaka Suta, the daughter of Janakji Maharaj. She's called Janaka Suta, reminding us that Bhagavan Ram got her from Janakji. She's another family's daughter. He promised to take care of her, and now she's missing. Right? You go and find this Janaka Suta. Go and look everywhere. Masa Divasa Maha Ayehu Bhai. And my dear brothers, you come back within a month. I'm giving you 1 month to go and look for her. In other Ramayanas, there's descriptions about how he told them where they should go, details of what they will see. And, you'll see this river, you'll see this lake, you'll see this mountain, you'll see the details of what they will see. And it is because, Sugriva was running from Bali, right? He ran around the whole place. He ran the whole world. He knew everything that was everywhere because of how he had run. But if you are running away from somebody, you think you will see anything? So in his running also, there was a great alertness. Fear but alertness, right? Okay. Now, he says go in all 4 directions. This is his instruction. Direct instruction, right? Do they not know where Ravana is? What is the news they have all gotten? Jatayuji said Ravana has taken her towards the south. Then, when they met Sugriva and Hanumanji, they said they saw Ravana taking her towards the south. They know Ravana lives in the south, right? So why are they sending monkeys in all 4 directions? There's philosophical reasons too, but there's a very practical, pragmatic reason. That is, if you steal something, you can be in one place, but you can find a totally different place to hide it in, isn't it? He's stolen Sitaji. Just because he is in Lanka doesn't mean she's in Lanka, right? So he sends monkeys in all 4 directions because you have to do your due diligence. You can't take for granted he's in the south, so she's in the south, right? So this is a practical reason why he would have sent them in 4 directions. But he hasn't finished. Avadhi meti jo binu sudhi paaye. After this limit is passed, means after this 1 month finishes, and you come after the month finishes without any news about Sitaji, avai banihi so mohi marai. That person will be killed personally by me. Means, now you go and look for Sitaji. You have 1 month to find her and come back. If you come back after 1 month, and you bring good news that you have found Sitaji, well then good to go. We're good. If you come back after 1 month and you have no news about Sitaji, well, you're dead. I will personally kill you. This is Sugriva's condition and timeline to the monkeys. And, this sounds like a threat, but what he's doing is communicating the seriousness of the timeline. It's not just an indefinite search when you want to go look and stop on the way and, you're going south, eat a doubles on the way. It's not take your time and do what you want, and there's a seriousness. Therefore, there's a serious timeline. In the Doha now it says, Bachana sunata savabanara jaha taha chale turant hearing his words. All the Vanaras now went here and there immediately. Now let me please correct myself. I keep saying monkeys, and that's just the way we have grown up saying it, but actually they're Vanaras. Vanaras are not exactly monkeys. Kapis, they're called kapi, but they're a type of, I mean, they follow dharma, they follow shastra, they can't be ordinary monkeys, right? So Vanaras are their own class of beings, like monkeys. But for simplicity, we call them monkeys. They're actually, Vanara is the better word for us to try and replace when we talk about them, right? They're Vanaras. Okay. Now these Vanaras went, right? North, east, west, trillions. Taba Sugriva Pulaye Angada Nala Hanumanta. Then Sugriva called Angada, Nala, and Hanumanji. A few others. There's no space remaining in the Doha, so he stopped at Hanumanta. There's a few more that are there in this list, right? But he calls the dream team now for a special address. So what is his special address to them? Oh, will we finish? Yeah, let's start and see. Sunahu Nilangada Hanumana Jamavanta Matidhira Sujana Sakala Subhata Milida China Jahu Sita Sudhi Puchehu Sabakahu Manakrama Bachana Sojatana Becharehu Ramachandra Karakaju Savarir Bhanu Pithi Seya Ura Agi Swami Sarva Bhava Chala Tyagi Taji Maya Seya Paraloka Mittahi Sakala Bhava Sambhava Soka Deha Dhari Karaya Bhalu Bhai Bhajiya Rama Sarva Kama Bihai Soi Gunagya Soi Parabhagi Jo Raghubira Charana Anuragi Aya Sumagi Charana Sirunai Chale Harashi Sumira Taragurai Pache Pavanatanaya Sirunava Jani Kaja Prabhu Nikata Bolava Parasasi Sasaroruhapani Karamudrika Dini Janajani Bahu Prakara Sita Hi Samujayu Kahi Bala Biraha Begi Tumha Ayu Hanumata Janma Supala Karimana Chaleyu Hridaya Dhari Kripa Nidhana Jadyapi Prabhu Janata Sababata Rajanita Rakhata Suradrata Chale Sakala Banakojata Sarita Saragiri Kruha Ramikajalayalina Mana Visaratana Karacho Hasiya Vara Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavana Sutta Hanumana Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai Bolo Bhai Sab Santana Ki Jai. Sunahu Nila Angada Hanumana. Listen, O Neel, O Angad, O Hanuman, Jamavanta, Matidhira Sujana, and Jambavan. Jambavan was not mentioned earlier, right? So Nala, Nila, so many of them, a few means a select few of them would have been there. You are Mati dhira, you are intelligent. You are sujana, you are wise. And sakala subhata, you are all great warriors, right? Mili dachina jahu, together you all go in the southern direction. Sita sudhi puchehu sabakahu, and you go and you stop and ask everybody for news about Sitaji. Means you don't take for granted that somebody won't know. Ask everybody. So now they have permission from their boss. You know, when you go and you stop somebody and you inconvenience them, you go to a muni and he's about to get angry, you're like, no, our Sugriva boss said ask everybody. So you go to him. You know, it is so interesting that such few people were sent to the south, even though they knew that she was there. The biggest suspicion is she's there. The other directions they're sending for due diligence. Why? Most of the monkeys went in all the other directions and just a few went to the south. Actually, this is like phenomenal leadership. Because when you want to get actual work done, a few capable people is all you need. In fact, when you have too many people, you can't get work done. When you want to actually get a project done, it is a handful of few people who will finally do the work. Everybody else just brings noise to the table. So get your dream team and put them in the right direction. That's what Sugriva did. Why so many? There were trillions. Why a few trillion couldn't have joined them also? Efficiency comes when it's way more efficient, and when you have a few capable people, you don't need trillions of them. Few of them were sent south. Now he gives them special instructions. Manakrama bachana so jatana bicharihu Ramachandra kara kaju savarihu. In body, speech and mind, you put forth effort such that you come up with whatever means is required to accomplish Bhagavan Rama's work. He's very clear that it is Bhagavan Rama's work, it is not his work. Do whatever you have to do, think of whatever you have to think of, figure out how to accomplish Sri Rama's work. This section is almost like Sugriva Gita. He's giving his own Gita now, giving his own wisdom. Because his Maya is gone, he can give Gita now. What is he telling them? Bhanu Pithi Seya Ura Agi. This is the word Seya here, Seya means save, do seva, right? Do seva for the sun with your back. And do seva for fire from the front. What sense does that make? There's so many different ways to explain it. One is, this word seiya actually also means to enjoy. It has multiple meanings, right? So you enjoy the rays of the sun on your back. You know, people who go and tan themselves, they know this very well. They lie there and then they get a tan on their back. And then you enjoy the warmth of the fire facing the fire. You don't turn your back on the fire. Even in like rituals and all, have you ever seen somebody facing their back to the fire? You can face your back to the sun, but you can never face your back to the fire, right? So the sun is enjoyed, or the sun is waited upon with your back. And you know, the other thing is that you cannot actually look at the sun head on. You'll become blind, right? So it's a saying, you face your back to the sun and you face your front to the fire, right? You serve, you wait on, you enjoy, whichever way you want to take it. But Swamihi Sarva Bhava Chalatyagi. But you serve the Swami, you serve your master with all bhavas, giving up all deceit. Means you, with your body, with your speech, with your mind, you serve your master with all bhava. Not only in the front, meaning in his presence. Not only in the back, meaning in his absence. In all ways, at all times, you serve the master. What is he talking about? He's talking about Ramakaj. So now, Taji Maya Seya Paraloka. Will you give up Maya and you will enjoy Brahmaloka? Mittahi sakala bhava sambhava soka, and all your sorrow of samsara will go away. What is the secret? Give up Maya. How? Do Ramkaj. Like that, that's what he's saying. Deha dhare karayah phalu bhai bhajiya rama sabakama bihai. He says, the greatest blessing of getting this human body, this body that they have gotten, my dear brothers, is to worship Rama and give up or forget all selfish desires. It is the greatest blessing of getting this body to worship Rama, giving up all selfish desires. He doesn't say human body dhare. He says deha dhare, getting this body. And we say that the human birth is the greatest, right? But actually, in Shastra, it is clearly presented that the greatest body is the one that serves Bhagavan. Whose body was greater? Ravana's or Jatayuji's? Physically. Just from a physical point of view, not from an action point of view. Ravana's body was stronger. He had an intellect. Jatayu didn't. So many things he had. But whose was actually better? Jatayuji. Why? Because he served Bhagavan. As a vulture, he's more revered than Ravana ever. I mean, you can't even say Ravana revered in the same sentence. But Jatayuji, it doesn't matter what body you have, but that it is used in service of Bhagavan. Then he says, Soi gunagya, soi bada bhagi. That person is virtuous. That person is most fortunate. Jo Raghubira Charana Anuragi, who is a devotee, who is devoted to the feet of Bhagavan Ram. You know, they didn't need this inspiration. You're talking to people, you're preaching to the choir. That saying is there, right? But Sugriva is so inspired that he can't help it but share his inspiration, right? He's just so inspired right now. Ayasumagi Charana Serunai Chale Harashi Sumirata Raghurai. So now they took Sugriva's permission and they bowed their head at his feet and they happily went now, remembering Bhagavan Rama. This is a principle that a devotee of Bhagavan gets so much joy in doing Bhagavan's seva. The day we get joy in doing seva for Bhagavan, we will know that we are moving in the direction of becoming better devotees. Now, Pache Pavanatanaya Sirunava. Now last Pavanatanaya, son of Pavana, Hanumanji. He came and bowed his head. Jani Kaja Prabhu Nikata Bolava. Bhagavan Ram knew he's the one who's going to do his work. And he called him close to him. He said, come. But you have to just imagine, first trillions of monkeys were there. Sugriva gave command and like trillions left. Now there was just a handful. You could count them on your hands. Few were left. Sugriva gave a special upadesh to them. They also took permission and now they're also going. Now, of the trillions, a few were left. Those few also have gone. Now one left. Hanumanji. He's doing his pranams and he's leaving and Bhagavan says, hey, come. What does Bhagavan Ram have to say to him? Parasa sisa saroruhapani. He touched Hanumanji's head with his lotus hands. And Karamudrika dinhi janajani. And he took his ring off his finger and he gave it to Hanumanji. How? Why? Janajani, knowing him to be his devotee. That was the key. What made the difference? Janajani, knowing he was his devotee. He gave him his ring, his ring from his finger. Everyone knows this story. This part everyone is very familiar with, right? Bhagavan Ram says, come, and he gives him the ring. Bahu prakara sitahi samujhahe. He says, in many ways, you go and explain properly to Sitaji. Kahi bala biraha begi tumha aayehu. Go and tell her about my strength, meaning she shouldn't doubt that I'm going to come and I'm going to fight for her. And biraha, tell her about my pangs of separation and quickly come back, right? Means I have the capacity to get her back. She should know that. She should also know how sad I am in separation from her. She shouldn't think that she's gone and I'm just living life like normal and I didn't think about her. She should know how much pain I am in. Guruji said, some people say, why is Bhagavan Ram telling Hanumanji to go and tell about his pangs of separation from his wife? I mean, what will a brahmachari know about pangs of separation from your wife? People will ask that question. And he said, actually, the brahmachari is the best one because he will give the message as it is without adding his own side and his own masala. He has nothing to add. And the best messenger is the one who tells it exactly as it is. Right? So he will deliver the message exactly as is without any contamination of his own opinions and feelings and any of that, right? But Bhagavan Ram says, come back quickly. Go find her and come back quickly. That means what? Bhagavan Ram is 100% sure that Hanumanji is the one who's going to find Sitaji. Right? He is 100% sure. And he has made Hanumanji 100% aware of the fact that he is the one who is going to find Sitaji. Both those things have happened, become very clear in this, right? Hanumata janma subhala kari mana. Hanumanji considered his birth fulfilled. He considered his life accomplished. Chalayu hridaya dhari kripa nidhana. And he left holding in his heart the ocean of compassion. Now, Jadyapi Prabhu Janata Savabata. Even though Bhagavan knew everything, he knew where Sitaji was, he knew who is going to find her, he knew how he's going to find her, he knew everything. He's Lord of the universe. So why this whole wait for Sugriva's monkeys to come, send them, wait for a month, wait? Because this is Shivji telling, right? Rajaniti Raghata Suratrata. Because he respected statecraft. He respected the policies of kingship. This protector of the Devatas, this Bhagavan Ram, he will never transgress dharma at all. He cannot just show up to Ravana and take Sitaji. Even though he knows she's there, he has to follow the protocol, send people to look, confirm that she's there, come back, then only he can go. First he has to send a messenger to get her back. And so that's why he's called Maryada Purushottama, the one who will never transgress the boundaries of dharma at all. So he follows it no matter how difficult it is, how hard it is for him to wait for Sitaji. But he's waiting, right? Now, Doha. Chale sakala bana khojata sarita saragiri khoha. Now, all of them went searching in forests and streams and lakes and mountains and ravines. Rama kajalayalina mana bisaratana kara choha. Their minds were absorbed in Ramakaj, in Rama's work. And they totally forgot the attachment that they had to their body. Meaning there was no hunger, no thirst, totally oblivious to the body when they were engrossed in the work of Bhagavan Ram. Now a couple of things. One, the number of times the word Ramakaj has come, and it's going to keep coming. It is something we have to think about. You all please give thought. What does this phrase Ramakaj mean? The work of Rama. It is very important. It is one of those essential words in this Tulsi Ramayana, right? Ramakaj. Other thing to think about from a philosophical, from a spiritual point of view. Why were monkeys sent in all directions when they knew Sitaji was in the south? How does that reflect our spiritual journey. The monkey's search for Sitaji is our spiritual journey, searching for peace and happiness. Why did the monkeys go all over? And the third thing is, and everybody knows this, well, when we get there, we'll see. Hanumanji doesn't think he can do it. Jambavanji has to tell Hanuman, hey, go. He's just been given the ring. Why does he not feel like he's the one who's going to find Sitaji, in spite of having the ring? So y'all think about this, and as the story unfolds, we will see. Next week, we'll see the symbolism of why trillions of monkeys went all over, and it's such a profound symbolism that it just puts things in perspective for us. It gives us a reality check. Give thought to that, and then we'll talk about it when we meet next week. Okay, so I'll do closing prayer. Announcements. If you are in Guyana or you know anyone in Guyana, we have our Hakka Fusion fundraiser this weekend. Please tell them to come to the ashram. Pre-orders close tomorrow, and it's only by pre-order. Dvijoti is an excellent cook. I'm really sad I'm not going to get to eat it. He's making some delicious Hakka food. So please do let those in Guyana know about it. It will be worth the trip from East Coast, West Coast, wherever they are, to come and get this. You'll be supporting the ashram. There will be chai on sale and other snacks on sale as well. And you'll get to come see the ashram, spend time, chill, pick up some delicious food. And then so that's happening on Sunday. Right? Please do spread the word. Next week, Navratri doesn't start until Thursday, so we're good. This class will not be interrupted next week. Class as normal, 7 p.m. next Wednesday. We'll see you all then. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Oh, sorry, I forgot one announcement. Mondays, starting this coming Monday, for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to have a special class for Devis, a special workshop on Japa Yoga. So if you know any women who are interested, this will be during the day, 11 a.m. Guyana time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to be seeing Japa as a sadhana. We'll be studying it together in a Devi group. So we'll put that out. We'll send out the poster and you can share it with anyone who might be interested. Japa is one of the most potent sadhanas that we can do to progress in our spiritual journey. It is super, super powerful. Right. We'll close. Now, anyone who has any questions is welcome to stay. Anyone who wants to share anything is also welcome to stay. The floor is open.